Okay, let's walk through how you would do this, say for an assignment or to work through this. So, I'm showing you information on this page and you might be watching this video here. The video here shows you how CPU simulator works, which doesn't no longer even works on a real computer. So I can't even edit any of these videos. But how do you would normally do it? So let's do the opcodes first. What you want to do is you want to use Notepad or any text editor for this. Again, I'm going to show you a Notepad++ later on, but for now, Notepad is fine. So how would I do this opcodes and operands? Well, the first thing I have to do is input the numbers. So it's IMP3M1. That's inputting the number 2 into memory location number 1. Notice this is all lowercase, whereas the example shows P1 in uppercase. I was just doing that so it matched the video, but I don't care, upper or lowercase, whichever smokes your boat. All right, next thing is I need to put 5 into memory location number 2. So I'll input the number 5 into M2. All right, so that's my inputting of my numbers. I have two numbers, I want to add them together. But they're in memory, and I can't add memory. I can only add registers. So the next thing I'm going to do is MMR, which stands for Move Accumulator to Memory. And in fact, let me just go ahead and make this a little bit bigger. All right, so we'll make this bold and 16. Much better. All right, so move memory to register, MMR. I'm going to take what's in M1, which happens to be the number 2, and put it into register 1. And if you'd like, you can put in parentheses out here the number 2, so you can keep track that 2 is in register 1. And now I have to move the 5, so I'm going to move memory, register, M2, which is where the 5 is, and I need to put it into register 2, and again, I'll put, whoops, not that, not that. And then I'll put in parentheses out here the number 5 to remind me that in register 2 I have the number 5. All right, and then now I have to do some math. And I want to add register 1, which is the 2, and register 2, which is the 5. And if you want to put parentheses out here and do 2 plus 5, just to remind yourself, that's fine. That answer is 7. And that's the final answer. So 5 and 2 is, oh, I'm sorry. I did the wrong number. Okay, so 3, sorry about that. 3, 3, I didn't remember it being 7 before. So that answer is 8, and that's our final answer. So our final answer goes into MAM, or move accumulator to memory. And that's going to go into memory location number 3, which is the next one on the list. And that is going to have 8 in it. So you can see you don't have to put the parentheses in there. Might make it a little easier. Input the numbers, move them to registers, add them together, and then out. And then if you want to add on the bottom here, halt just for grins, that's fine. All right, so I'm going to do a file, save as. And remember, we made up this thing in lessons if you did the last one. So there's lesson 1. And I'll put this into add to.txt. Oh, let's go opcodes, just so I know what's in there. So I say add to opcodes. You don't have to save these. I'm not going to ask you to collect them, but it might be something you might want to look back afterwards. And if you keep everything nice and organized, then life is good. Next thing I need to do is open up HTML kit. And let's see, in bin, htmlkit.exe. Now I've opened it up previously, so it probably won't ask me the bunch of questions, but if it did ask me questions, the answer to those questions is always no. Again, down at the bottom, I'm having this shield comes up. I click on that. I'm always going to say yes. Go ahead and change settings on my computer. And you can see it skipped all those questions. So I'm going to create a new file. All right, so when we create a new file, also you want to get rid of files on here, and you want to get rid of messages down here if you haven't already done it. Since I just finished opening this up, I've already done that in the last one, in the last lesson. All right, so I need to get rid of all my HTML. And then what I'm going to do is, let's do, I should have kept this open. All right, because this is what I want to do with my HTML. All right, and I'm going to start with my script tags. And then close script. So open script, close script. Inside here, I'm going to have var, and I'm going to have M1, M2, M3, all separated by commas. Then I don't have to do anything with registers. It's automatically done. This is upper level language. I'm going to say that M1, and I want to assign to M1 the number 3. See if I can do it correctly this time. And then in memory location number 2, I wish to stick in there the number 5. And that's how I do it. So these up here are blank places of memory. The operating system did that for me. And now I could say, well, in that blank place of memory called M1, let's stick the 3 in there, and then the 5. And the next thing I'm going to do then is I want to add those two things together and put them into M3. So we're going to say I have a place of memory called M3. I wish to assign to that place of memory what's returned when I take M1 and add it to M2, and then semicolon means I'm done. So you can see that these seem backwards, but equals does not mean equal. In JavaScript, it means assign to. So I'm going to say I have a blank place in memory called memory 1. I wish to assign to that place in memory what's returned when I take M1 and add it to M2. So that's how code works. Now the last thing I want to do is I want to output that. So I'm going to say document.write, open and close parentheses and semicolon. So document is a web page, and that's where we're going to present our material. The write method, or .write, is a method or a subroutine that does all the code necessary to get it on a page. And then in here, I need to put in what I want to output. And of course, I want to output whatever's in M3. And then when I preview it, it should say 8. Sweet, there's 8. All right, so that's how you do both of those. And then the last thing I'm going to do, of course, now is I want to go ahead and save this file because I'm proud of what I've done. So we have two old that. So let's call this one add to .htm, because that's what this does. It adds two things. And again, if I want to go back and edit it, I don't want to go into here and wherever it is. I forget right now where I put it. Student folder, there it is. Okay, student folder, assignments, assignment 1, lessons. So you can see I have a little squilly thing. That's for the Microsoft Slate thing, whatever. That's the default on this computer. And if I open it up, it's going to just show me the 8. I can't edit it from here. I have to go into HTML and then do open and then add to, and then it opens it up like that. So just remember that. If you want to edit your files, you can't open them up from Windows Explorer because over here it doesn't give me an HTML kit option. I guess I could open it up in Notepad. That's the only way it would work. But why do that? You should be opening it up in HTML kit so you can see all the pretty colors and all that. All right, so that's it for this lesson.